Welcome. This is the second Retirement One planning review. So the exam's going to come up real quick. It's on Thursday, but this is the second review. And so we'll get started here in a little bit. Let me just open this up right so it looks right. There we go. So here you have Bonita. She makes her first contribution to her IRA this year. The amount's $2,500. Going forward, she intends to increase the contribution at 2% per year. How much will be in her IRA? And so a lot of these are review questions that we've already done, and you could read them, and you could pause, and you could play again. There's the answer. Notice this here, the factor. The factor here is 1.08 to the 25th power minus 1.02 to the 25th power divided by 0.08 minus 0.02. That's the factor you use when the payments are going to increase each year. And that's what we have here. In this question, she's not going to increase her payments. This is simpler, actually. She's just going to put in $4,500 a year. Every year, she's not going to put in more. It's not like next year she's going to put in 2% more. Back with question one, every year, the first year she's putting in $2,500. Next year, she's going to put in $2,500 plus 2% more. The year after that, plus 2% more, and so on. So when you get level payments, it's just back to a very simple corporate finance future value of an annuity. This is an ordinary annuity because she just opened her plan, but starting in 1 year. So that says set the calculator to end. And there's your answer. And you could do that on the calculator as well. And there it is on the calculator. I did it both ways. So Becky needs to know, now these are the distributions, right? This Becky wants to retire now, and we've seen these before, and she would like to take a $35,000 distribution now, but going forward, she's going to increase it 2% per year. So every year during her retirement, she's going to take out 2% more than the last year. Her retirement yield is 5.2%. In other words, her assets yield 5.2% annually, and she wants her distributions to last 20 years. And so she'd need about $530,295 in her account right now to make that happen. When you see where I is calculated here, 1.052 divided by 1.02 minus 1, what that is you're accommodating these increasing payments. The first payment's $35,000, but the next one is 2% higher, and it's 2% higher than that the following year, and so on. Question 4, Beth wants to retire now. Now, this is a simple one. She's going to get a flat payment. It says she's going to just get $35,000 a year. She's not getting 2% more a year. So here I'm going to just use the calculator that we use for the course, put in the $35,000 right here, and calculate the present value. To get $35,000 a year for 40 years, given her money's invested at 7.1%, she needs to have about $494,000 right now to support those 40 distributions, being that money's invested and earning 7.1% per year. So she'd have like $494,000 in her account at 7.1%. She'd take out $35,000 this year. There'd be a bunch left. It would continue to grow at 7.1%. Maybe not this year. And then actually the market's doing well today, so who knows? But you get the point. Okay, what's the expected yield on Eric's 401k plan in view of in light of employer matching? And so it gives you some inputs here, right? Starting in 1 year, in other words, set the calculator to end. It's an ordinary annuity. He'll put in $6,000 a year. His employer is going to match it. His portfolio is set up to shoot for a 9% return. He plans to retire in 30 years. His marginal tax rate is 24%. And so you do 2 runs with the calculator. Run 1, you figure out the future value of the $12,000 growing for 30 years at 9%. And in run 2, you figure out the yield. You put N as 30. You put the future value in there that you calculated from run 1 as the future value in run 2. That didn't change. What changes is the payment. He's only investing $6,000 a year. half of the $12,000 a year from run one, he doesn't put that away. He's only investing $6,000 a year. Besides that, he gets a 24% discount when he puts his own money into a retirement plan because he's in the 24% tax bracket. So it costs like, 76% of $6,000. And then you calculate the yield. So in light of employer matching and what else is going on here? And the tax break, the 24% discount on his contribution, his yield is not 9%, it's really 14% or 14.03%. Francine earns $52,000 working at UPS. This is like the probably the easiest question you'll see on the exam. Then it gives you two more pieces of information, what she puts into a retirement plan. That's only what she puts in. What her employer puts in wouldn't count. So we're just going to put, she puts away $2,200 a year into her plan. Maybe her employer matches it, maybe it doesn't. And her FICA taxes are $39.78. So you just do that math and you get her wage replacement ratio. That's top down. Her wage replacement ratio is 88.12%. Tim's income from working rises into the 24% bracket. This year he plans on taking a $20,000 distribution from his 401k plan. But notice that Tim is only 53 years old. He's not 59 and a half or older. So that's going to get him a little bit of a penalty here, right? So I just took the 10% penalty because if you're under 59 and a half, that's the penalty amount, percentage. Then I took his tax rate that his income's already in that bracket. So if he earns extra income, it's going to be in that bracket. And I multiply it by 20,000 and you get $6,800. And it's always possible there could be, like he's already at the top of the 24% tax bracket, but let's not confuse it. We'll just say he's well within the 24% bracket. The extra 20,000 doesn't kick him into the next one. The tax penalty applies since Tim is under 59 and a half years old. Now here's the capital needs analysis. And so about half the questions on the exam are going to look like that, are going to be capital needs analysis questions. That's your input data. What I suggest is as soon as you open up the exam, do the complete capital needs analysis. Just like I'm going to show you here. Do it all, and then go through the exam and select the answers. That's just a recommendation. You don't have to do it that way. You want to do it the way that you're comfortable, but that might be an approach. So here's a question, based on this information, what is he, 37, his salary is $128,000, N1 is 30. You can see what the information is. It's right there. You could go back to it. You could pause. Question 11. A through E. For the annuity method, question 11 is the annuity method. We're looking in this example for 5 different things. How much is his first contribution? How much is his second contribution, like next year's? How much is his first retirement distribution going to be? How much is his second going to be? And how much will he have in his retirement account at the end of the 25-year life expectancy period? In other words, that's at age 92. So the answers are on the next slide. So the wage replacement ratio was given. I calculated the wage replacement dollars, then I subtracted the Social Security benefit, then I figured out the first distribution. And then in the box, I figured out that he needs $2,222,386 at retirement in order to fund his distributions. What are his distributions? Well, the first one's $175,776, and every year after that, he's going to take out 2.5% more. So then I, down there where it says payment 1 at the bottom, I calculated payment 1. It's the contribution to his retirement plan this year. This year, in order to get this retirement plan and get this money when he's retired, this year he has to put away about $7,795. However, remember, next year it'll be 2.5% higher. Notice the inflation rate for this problem is 2.5%. The year after that, 2.5% higher. So every year through his career, he's going to put in 2.5% higher next year than he did this year, in light of his raises that we're anticipating at 2.5%. So there's the answers. that you have right there. And remember, with the annuity method, there's nothing left at the end. He's tapped out. There's no, if he's still alive, I'm sorry, there's no money left, and there's no money for heirs if he dies at age 92. There's nothing left. That gets us to the next method. Each year, his contributions and distributions rise by the inflation rate. Okay, so now let's go to the next method. How much is his first contribution? So it's the capital preservation method. It's the same questions. So what I've done is I've showed you from the formula that we did for the annuity method, all you do is add in what I did in red there, and what you're adding in is the present value of the amount needed to fund his retirement at retirement age. And we're going to put that back. So that in red calculates the present value over his 25-year retirement life expectancy. It finds the present value of the $2.2 million. And so here we need a little more. We need $9,221 the first year. And every year after that, he'd have to put in more. So if he wants this plan, if he chooses this plan, he's got to put away $9,021 this year, and every year he has to put away 2.5% more. There's your answers. Notice in number 5, he has $2.2 million at age 92. That's what's different. The contribution, indeed, that's different. It's more expensive. It's $9,021. That's higher than what the annuity methods was. But what he gets in for that is he preserves the capital. At age 92, he has $2.2 million, not zero. And that could be for two things. One, if he's still alive, he could live off of it till it runs out. Or a legacy. He could give it away to his relatives. Notice C and D, answers C and D, that doesn't change. We're anticipating, with all three of these, the first year when he retires, he'll take out $175,776 and collect his Social Security. The next year, he'll take out 2.5% more, and so on. So every year, he's going to have an increase. See where it says no change? That means compared to the annuity method, that those two things do not change. Now for the purchasing power preservation method, looking again for the same information. So now what I did is going from the capital preservation method that we just did to this method, all we do is sneak in here, growing the 2.2 million by 1.025 to the 25th power, finding the purchasing power of 2.2 million at the end of his retirement life expectancy before discounting it back at 9.5%. And so for this method, he needs $10,069. That's his first payment. So he has to put away that amount of money. And if he has employer matching, he only has to put away half of that, right? Because his employer is going to put away the other half. But we're not really dealing with that. So here's the answers. Notice C and D, there's no change there. But what's the difference is in in answer A, is he has to put away $10,069. In answer B, next year he puts away 2.5% more than $10,069. But look at the last answer at the bottom there. At the end of the period, he has 4.12 million. That's quite a bit more than 2.22 million. So he's preserved the purchasing power of his 2.2 million at retirement, because at the end of his when he's 92, at the end of the retirement life expectancy, he'll have 4.1 million. Good. All right. The exam. Be sure to study the reviews on this one and Mondays, along with the homework and class slides. I suggest that you look at this, go back to the slide where I gave the answer, gave the input data, and do a complete capital needs analysis. Do it a bunch of times. We have plenty of time. We're all stuck in the house. Do it a bunch of times. When you get the exam, perhaps, do your capital needs analysis. Figure this all out, and then buzz through and answer all the questions. About half the questions will be the capital needs analysis. The other half will be other questions. And then read this over. Be sure to study the reviews, this one and the one we did on Monday, along with the homework and class slides. Everything's fair game for the exam. The exam will have 20 questions. About 10 questions are from the capital needs analysis. Once you answer a question, Canvas will not allow you to return to it. So be sure you're okay answer by answer before submitting it. It will not allow you to go back. The material on this exam can be challenging, so you need to practice it a great deal in order to do well. It's not the type of thing, at least for me it wasn't, where I could just kind of glance at it and then pull it all together in the 70-minute exam. I think that would be very tough for anybody. So hopefully you'll take the opportunity, and that you have been all along practicing this material. Thank you.